This is my impression of a bird. Caca, caca.
Are you proud of your cold opening?
Yeah,
Okay, it was pretty good.
yeah,
Welcome to the Jungle Hour once more.
yes.
I think this one's the most on theme for the name of the
Jungle
show
Hour, yeah.
because we're going to finally go to DAC, Disney's Animal Kingdom, for our ranking rides and shows episode series. A little bit of a break since obviously we also had a month off because of
Yeah.
just us. But the awkward thing about DAC is it is the smallest number of rides we can talk about.
Mm-hmm.
So in comparison, we had 32 rides and shows at Magic Kingdom, 24 at Epcot, 21 at Hollywood Studios, and now we're down to 19.
Yeah.
So to fill the initial space, since this is the one place both Lynn and I have worked at, we wanted to talk about what it was like onboarding and what it was like about some of the backstage stuff that we have to talk about.
Yeah. I'm
So
excited.
why don't you go first? Because I think you spent a lot more time at DAC than I did.
Yeah. So my time during DAC, I was in Animal Kingdom guest relations as part of my CP extension. So I was there from, say, about like June all the way to January. So it was a hot minute there. And I did declamation, which is whenever you're working at a park, you get a park specific training where you do a tour of the park, like this is where you should know, this is where you should go, type of
Mm-hmm.
thing. Animal Kingdoms is called declamation. They do like a presentation slideshow, but the best part is the tour where you actually get to walk around.
Mm-hmm.
So kind of got like a lay of the land, like this is where you go, this is where you go. Um, Mine, I was kind of like the problem child of my tour group, um,
Why?
because it was kinda hot out and, like, we would stop and, like, stand and our tour guides would go over, like, "Oh, here's some facts about Animal Kingdom, this and that,"
Mm-hmm.
and we were in the sun, and it was June, so it was hot. We're standing there, we're right outside of, like, the Harambe area, um, kind of
Uh,
by, like, the safari,
yeah. So
the
like,
Harambe
yeah,
Market.
because there's only a market, so it's just like some tree coverage, but otherwise. Oh, but doesn't
Yeah,
another thing about trees doesn't it in Florida especially doesn't it just keep the humidity down, so you're just like kind of feeling it the entire time.
yeah,
Like
really
I
humid.
would I always say Epcot is kind of like a grill because there's so little tree coverage. The
Mhm.
heat goes on and just reflects back off, but it still just radiates on the ground. But
Yeah.
because of how much forestry and foliage there is at Animal Kingdom,
Mhm.
it's kind of just like all compressed and contained in
It's
that space.
shaded. It's shaded, but fun fact, Animal Kingdom is actually the hottest Disney park,
Yeah, that doesn't
which
surprise
is
me.
yeah, it's kinda crazy there.
For me, it
Um,
doesn't feel like the hottest. Epcot feels like the hottest to me.
yeah, because it can bounce off, like, the sun can bounce off the concrete, and it's like,
Hmm.
"Get me out of here."
Yeah, there's
Um,
no shade. That's my biggest issue.
yeah, Hollywood Studios too,
Yeah,
depending
yeah,
on where you're
especially Toy
at.
Story. That's always the biggest gripe is Toy Story just does not have enough coverage.
Mm-mm. But to continue, I ended up passing out in Harambe Market. I was like, "I don't feel
Damn.
good." And then I passed out on my tour, and then I had to go to first aid, so that was fun.
Damn. What okay. Now I gotta ask, what is it like passing out, especially at Disney? Do you like feel it happening or is it kind of just like an instant drop?
I've had it 3 times. Um,
Wait, at Disney?
yeah, while working.
Oh.
I know. First time was at Riverside. That one just happened while I was in the middle of talking to a guest. Um,
Oh
yeah,
shit.
and, like, I think I traumatized him, so I think my leadership or something gave him, like, fast passes or something. Um, yeah, and then the second time happened during my declamation, and then my third time happened, um, when I was trying to do my training for GET, which is, like, the mobile guest experience team for guest relations. I actually did not get GET trained because of my health issues with the heat, but,
Is
for
get when you're at the Blue Umbrellas?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, for those, I kind of felt those like coming on, but it's like, how do I ask like during a tour, like, hey, can I take a seat? And like, I sat down for like a hot minute, like on the
Mm-hmm.
curb,
Mm-hmm.
kind of where, what's that restaurant called?
Pizza Fari, Satuli, Flame Tree Barbecue,
The
Restaurantosaurus.
character one.
Oh fuck. Okay, it's in Animal Kingdom.
Yeah,
It's in Africa.
yeah. But I like
Um,
sat like right outside like the kind of like entrance there, like where that covered part is and that bar is outside. And like I sat down and then next thing you know, I was like, and I woke up with a scraped knee. So it's kind of,
Yikes.
yeah.
I searched it up and I'm only getting the fucking Animal Kingdom Lodge.
Oh my gosh. The name came to me for like a second and then I lost it.
No, not Boma.
Tusker
Tusker
House.
House.
Yeah. There it was.
There we fucking go. Okay, well
Um,
we figured it out.
yeah, but that was kind of my declamation experience.
Damn.
Yeah, it kind of wasn't the best. But I will say something fun is I actually had someone from guest relations pick me up and they took me in like a little van and they
Ooh.
just like kind of did like a tour backstage, like this is where you would go for this and that. And like it's cool if you are doing a backstage tour for like Animal Kingdom, let's say like the Caring for Giants, which is the elephant tour, and then I would assume any of the other like animal based tours, they will take you backstage on like the cast member roads and you can see like the not the cages, but like I guess like the storage area for like the animals whenever they come in at night.
The like not pens, but it's like
Like the
their
holding,
homes.
yeah, their homes, their holding
Yeah.
areas. So I
Yeah.
thought I thought that was always like really cool. And I definitely recommend doing like a backstage like animal tour. I did the Caring for Giants and you have to wear a name tag, but the name tag
Hmm.
is printed out of paper that is made from elephant poop.
Epic. So
How
you
was
got so you got to do like you got to see the animals and stuff
yeah.
because you signed up for something?
Yeah, this was like a tour I did like towards the end of my program just to celebrate like, oh, I worked at Animal Kingdom.
Hmm.
I think it was like Caring for Giants. It's like $40 and it's about
But
like a
as a
10.
but as a coincidence, GR picked you up and you also worked at GR?
Oh, no, this wasn't for GR. This was like after like my when my program was ending, but like
Oh. I thought you
yeah.
were saying when you got the tour, you also got to see the animals because I was going to say I didn't get to see that shit. That would have been
Oh,
fun.
no, 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 no. This is something separate I did. You can do it
Okay.
as a guest, but it's really cool.
Yeah. But
I was
there's also the ones at Flamingo Crossing or
yeah.
like college program related stuff. They do let you do um like early morning tours, like
Yeah.
5 a.m. tours. But I gotta say, who has the time and the mental capacity to work at any park or any resort and then say, man, I would love to wake up at 3 a.m. for a 5 a.m. park visit? You?
No, no comment. Well, on my first program, my leaders actually did tours for us. They would reach out like to people they knew. So I got to do the Haunted Mansion tour, which was really cool. I did Dinosaur, which was really neat. I'll talk about that
Damn.
later. And then I also got to do, well, I didn't get to do it, but my coworkers did because I already left at that point, but they did Tower of Terror.
Luckies.
Yeah, but I think I
That's really cool.
yeah, I think I spoke about it on the podcast before, but I also did the Indiana Jones one, which was not that fun.
Yeah, that one was kind of just
Yeah.
me watching the show. The
Yeah. But how was your declamation experience? Like, I know mine was kind of exciting, but
Yeah. Mine, it was like a lot of new stuff for me because for
yeah.
me, it was my first time doing the program. So I was
Mhm.
like very much new to the idea of like what backstage looks like, how Disney does training. Um, I did really enjoy like the backstage tour of like because it's kind of them. I think it's them trying to get you like excited to work there because they're telling you like the history of the park,
Oh,
the
yeah.
the story of the areas, and then some facts about like this happened in this point in time. Like
Mhm.
I don't know why the one fact that sticks to mind is in Liberty Square. You know how there's like a brown set of stones in the middle
The
of the
poop.
walkway? It's the poop river
Oop.
because back then they didn't have infrastructure for plumbing, so
Mhm.
they would just throw their feces in wasn't it just straight into the street and it would just go down?
Yeah,
That's crazy.
it's kind of gross.
Yeah.
Not even kind of, it is gross.
It's gross, yeah. But no, it was a lot of fun. The only odd thing was the fact that I had to learn like, oh, my bus route was
Mhm.
costuming one stop, and then if I had to get costuming, I had to know how quick I had to be to get the next bus that would go to DAC.
Yeah.
And then when I worked at Magic Kingdom, I knew that the bus route was right there.
Mhm.
So for Magic Kingdom, it's one bus, and your costuming will take you straight to the park. You don't have to
Mhm.
wait for anything really, or it's less
Yeah.
of a wait. Epcot, it is backstage behind China. And then for Hollywood Studios, it's backstage behind Galaxy's Edge. So
Mhm.
for every other park, they designed it so that you could just be right there.
Yeah.
I don't know why they didn't design Dak to be the same way. Like
That's such a good
if you think
question.
about like a bird's eye view, you
Mhm.
could put Dak costuming near Dinosaur. How that like that's away from the animals,
Yeah, that makes sense. I
and they
don't
could
know
just either
why.
they could either connect the building with the dinosaur building,
Mhm.
or they could offset it and put a second road there if they
Mhm.
need to do like movement back and forth.
Yeah.
But it's just kind of like, what are you guys doing?
I wonder I think I might have a theory why they didn't place it backstage. I wonder if it's because connected to the costuming building for Animal Kingdom is actually kind of where they have auditions for performances and character performers, because
Mm,
even people who are not employed with the Disney company but are looking to get employed to be like a costumed character or a
yeah.
face character, that's where
Mhm.
they go for like the auditions. So I
Yeah.
wonder if that's why they had it in more like a public place versus like backstage.
That would make sense. Cause yeah, if they so my theory is if they
Yeah.
had that audition place you mentioned
Mhm.
there before, they could have just extended the building because they already own the lot there.
Mhm.
And if they built it by where DAC is, it might have cost more, or they would have been taken away from the parking space. And for
Yeah.
them, it's all about like economics. Like I don't
Mhm.
blame if that is the mindset, because at the end of the day, it's a business.
Mhm.
But like it's still, but then it's an inconvenience on the cast member. Because
Yeah.
the other thing is, if you needed to pick up a costume on your way home, you would have to do the cycle a whole second time. Because you'd have to
Mhm.
go back to Flamingo, then go to costuming, wait for the next bus,
Yeah.
then go all the way back.
And sometimes the bus drivers get a little like, "Why are you on the bus again?" Like, or sometimes they'll
Hmm.
like kick you off the bus and they're like, "Sorry, you have to wait until I come back."
Yeah.
Or
Oh,
something
I
like that.
okay. Not DAC related, but I
Yeah.
have a story for that because you mentioned that.
Okay,
There was
spill.
one time. What is the resort across the water from Disney Springs? What is that called?
Saratoga.
I was going to Saratoga because I wanted to get off. I knew the drop off was right next to the boat, so I wanted to take the boat to get to the front of Disney Springs where they
Mhm.
have the art and all that stuff. So I knew the route was like two stops that didn't matter for me, then me. And on the third stop, I could see the boat. So I was like, oh, okay, this is me. And I'm like putting my phone in my pocket, put my AirPods away. And he's pulling up to the curb where you see the fucking space to stop that has the
Yeah.
bus sign. And as he's pulling up to it, I start to stand up. And all he does is slow down and then just keeps going.
I'd be pissed.
So I was like, the fuck? And I pulled it. And he like slammed on the brakes and then turned around and saw me standing up.
Yeah.
And I said, sorry, I got to get off at this stop. He goes, you got to show that you want to get off then. I go, I stood up when you were here. He goes, I
Yeah.
didn't see you do that. I'm like,
I'm sorry.
you're arguing? Like, this is what you want to do?
Some of the bus drivers that they get, like, for the college program, I swear they
Oh,
just find, like, a random person, like, at a store and they're
hmm.
like, "Hey, do you want a job?" And it's like, "You don't even know how to drive a bus. You don't need customer service skills. Just come
No.
on."
Well, it's kind of funny. Yeah, there's a range of those bus drivers we've
Yeah.
gotten before. But isn't it also because the bus company is a third party
Yeah.
with Disney? It's not
Mhm.
actually Disney. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's kind of just like, you don't have to be rude.
Yeah.
I'm not. angry at you. I just want to get off the bus. That's all I care about right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. But for DAC, going back to DAC, the other thing I wanted to say is people who have been there know what Satuli is. It's like I always say it's the hippie restaurant of of the whole parks, like especially Animal Kingdom, because it's
Yeah.
like noodles and beans and rice and those boba balls
Not the boba balls.
and the like kind of awkwardly cut meat where it's like ribbons of beef
Oh
or
yeah,
tofu,
the
like all that
coleslaw.
stuff. Yeah. Um, that is the only restaurant I know has a like cast member lunch hour that's
Mhm.
on sale and a like their own window backstage.
Mhm.
The only issue though is if you work at Pandora, you can get food there. If you work at Africa or the Starbucks there, you could get food there. Pizza Fari, kinda. If you work at Restaurantosaurus, anywhere in Dinosaur, anywhere in Asia, and then even me when I worked at Flame Tree, by the time you get there, that's half your break.
Yeah.
And then what, you're gonna scarf it down and walk back? No. So it's
Yeah.
almost like I wanted to do the discount food, but I physically couldn't because
Mhm.
it's so far away. Like DAC is really like really big for
Yeah.
walking in every direction.
Yeah. So I know a lot of my coworkers because we were towards the front of the park. Like
Mm-hmm.
the gate for us to go backstage was kind of where like Rainforest Cafe was. And then like you could just kind of do like a curve and then go to like Satuli. But the
Mm-hmm.
issue is like I didn't know all the shortcuts, like some of my coworkers who were there longer.
Yeah.
And I was just like scared. So I would probably would have taken the long way. And like by the time you get your food, by the time you wait for it, that's what 30 minutes and you
Yeah.
go back because I know for like every location it's different, but like I got like an hour break most times or
Mm-hmm.
45 minutes.
Yeah. For me, it was right in front of Flame Tree is
Mhm.
a backstage space
Yep.
because it's also connected to one of the merchandise.
Mhm.
So I would just go back there and typically it'd be fine.
Yeah.
But if it gets crowded, there used to be a meet and greet for Pocahontas and or Moana, but now
Yes.
they made that a break space, so it's kind of like on the water. There's some AC, but it's hot down there because it's just
Yeah.
humid again.
Yeah.
The other option for us was going to walk behind Restaurantosaurus, and
Mhm.
then there's like a couple shortcuts to get to their break room quicker.
Mhm.
They also had a very big break room,
Yeah.
and they had kind of like Magic Kingdom, if you've seen it. In their utilidors, they
Mhm.
have like a market where you scan your own stuff and you pay for it, or they have
Mhm.
like pre-wrapped cold Subway subs, like that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Kind of interesting.
So interesting.
Also, the more I think about it, I think a future episode we got to do is quick service spots, but we should just do all the parks of Walt Disney World and then all the
Mhm.
parks of Disneyland another time. Cause like I want to say why Flame Tree is great and why
Yeah.
Pizza Fari is not that good.
I have to say, once we cover Epcot, I have to talk about Katsura Grill in very deep detail.
Cat what? I didn't
Katsura
hear that.
Grill, Katsura
Cats.
Grill,
Where's that?
it's in Japan.
Oh, is that how you pronounce it?
That's how I do.
Oh,
I'm
I gotta
probably
make
saying
sure.
it wrong.
Japan Pavilion,
Katsura?
Epcot. How do you spell it?
Katsura.
Sura.
Yeah,
Oh, Katsura.
Katsura,
Why are you
yeah.
why are you breaking the words apart like that? Katsura.
Katsuracha.
Katsura. Or I
Katsura.
think it might be Katsura.
I don't know.
Pronunciation. Here we go. Hold on.
Yeah. Wait, wait. Your mic cut out. I cannot hear you. I can't hear you.
fixed it. Please tell
Oh,
me I fixed it.
yes.
Oh my god. I'm so sorry about that, everyone. That was awkward. And I'm too lazy to edit, so I'm not gonna get that part out. Um,
See, I thought I was gonna like kick back in, so I was just kind of nodding like, uh-huh, and then I was like, oh, I don't think it's kicking back in. Let me say something.
oh, whoops.
Ooh, oops.
Here is our tier list. Like I said, there's only 19 things that we could do. I couldn't find many old stuff that have been retired, kind of like I
Yeah,
did for Epcot. So all of this is just everything that's there. And unfortunately, the 3 or 4 that have been retired because Dinosaur was like recently shut down, right?
yeah. Last Sunday, the
Can I
19th.
can I say hot take? I'm not even that bothered that it got shut down because I was never a fan of the story of Dinosaur, like the
That's
land.
valid. That's valid.
It seems very like American cheesy. Like you can
Mhm.
even see in the photo of Triceratops spins and Dinorama. It's just like very bright and like fake colors.
Yeah,
I don't like that.
that's the vibe they were going for.
Ugh. But for the list, I just want to go in order of the whole park. So I did Discovery Island, Africa, Asia, Dinosaur, and then back to Pandora. So to
Nice.
begin, Lynn, what are your thoughts on the Oasis walk-in? Because you
I love
actually
it.
also you were working there the entire time.
Yeah, I loved it. One of my favorite tasks to pull was when we just like had too many people. They
Hmm.
would send us to walk around with like pickers, like to pick up trash
Oh, that's
and just
nice.
walk, yeah, walk around the Oasis. So, I love seeing like the anteater and I can't remember the name, but they look like little deer, but they're really cute. Those are my
Hmm.
favorite things in the Oasis and the little suspension bridge. But I
Oh
like
yeah,
it.
it's so much fun over there. I
Yeah.
think for my run when I worked at DAC, the
Hmm.
the we have too many people, we need to make up a position bullshit
Yeah.
was make a magical moment. So you would talk to your court and say like, what can I give away? And
Hmm.
they'd either make you get like a cinnamon roll that was Mickey shaped or like find a cupcake that was like the specialty for the season. And
Hmm.
then just like find, I don't know, just like a couple with one kid or like
Yeah.
a happy couple that have a button that says anniversary, like something like that.
Oh.
Yeah, it was
Those
fun.
are the best tasks.
Yeah, fun stuff like that. Oasis, where would you put that?
To me, I'd say probably like S tier.
It's
Like it's just
flawless.
like yeah,
Hmm.
like to me it's just like such a great way to go into Animal Kingdom. It's just like here's what you're going to see. You're going to see some really pretty foliage. You're going to see some great animals and you're going to have like a great day and like there's like the waterfall there and you also have that cave that has like the benches in it. Like I just think
Mm,
it's like a nice like chill spot.
yeah. I
It's like
think
a
what's
good
also
spot.
clever about it is it's a way to break up the crowd because I think there's
Mhm.
3 routes you can take, and then like each of them branch out a couple times or like
Yeah.
intersect. And I think it's a way of like if they have 20 people entering the park at once, well, at least half of them will stop and wait, and the other half have something they want to go to. So it's also
Hmm.
a way to like space out how many people enter the park at once.
Yeah.
In a very natural way. So I agree. I'd put it in flawless. It's a pretty great spot. They did have like a lot of renovation last time I was at DAC. That was the only thing.
When were you there?
It would have been summer 22.
Okay.
What you were summer and then winter fall 23.
Yeah.
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 And then the next thing on the list, it's kind of like everywhere in the park, so I just kind
Hmm.
of put it next, was Wilderness Explorers. I definitely did it as a kid. I don't remember doing it though. Like I don't remember like the bigger parts of it.
Yeah. I always wanted to do it on my program, never got the chance to do it because I just don't want to talk to the wilderness explorer people. Like,
Yeah.
they're very passionate about their jobs, and
Hmm.
it's just really interesting to see how much they care about the environment and the animals, but I don't want to talk to them.
Yeah.
I will say personally, I'm not a big fan of it just because kids would come up to guest relations at the end of the day and they would ask for the stickers for the ones they didn't complete.
Oh.
And it's like, I feel bad, but like we can't give them out. And then you would have parents like be pushy, like give us all of them. It's like, I can't, sorry.
Yeah, exactly.
So I have like a bad reputation with it. It's not my favorite, but
Mhm.
I would say it's pretty great enrichment. So I'd probably put it like maybe like I would rank it a B.
B, good. It's good.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, I
Sorry.
agree. I agree. I don't want to talk to people, so I'd never did
Yeah.
it on my program, but I knew people would do all of the Wilderness Explorers, do 4 parks one day, and so on and so forth. Like they
Yeah.
did something for every park. I'd say it's good as well. I find it really cute when I had a couple guests come up to me and they'd be like, "Where's this on the map?" Because like it's kind of
Mhm.
awkward to look at. So I give
Yeah.
them directions on like go around this bend, make a left, and all that stuff. Um, I'd say good as well. It's not amazing, but it's not bad in any way.
Yeah.
So yeah, I I wonder if they could add more stuff. Or ooh, you know what I thought about?
What?
I wonder if they're gonna do the same thing they're doing with like um the what once was Perry the Platypus but now is DuckTales, where
Oh, I was thinking that.
they take away the paper version and they just make it all digital, which would be kind of sad.
Yeah.
I hope they don't.
Yeah, because it's a fun souvenir. Like if you think about it, it's a free booklet
Yeah.
and you got all these stickers and it's like up themed. Like
hmm I think that's also a good
it's great.
movie. Like I don't think people get tired of that.
Mm-mm.
They could also make a movie about wilderness explorers. They could make it like maybe Russell or Russell's friends go on a camping excursion and then like they get separated from their counselor and they have to survive or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah. I would kind of like to see it go down the route of like Lightyear, where it kind of like shows the backstory of how the wilderness explorers came to be. And maybe like
Oh,
they
that's
tie it into,
cute.
yeah, maybe
Mhm.
they like tie it into Russell, like maybe like Russell's great grandfather was the one who started it or something like that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah,
Cool.
I like that. That's a good idea. Disney, I hope you watch this podcast. Number 3 on the list, I already know where I'm putting this. If you disagree, I will be shocked. Tough to be a bug. I want to hear your answer before I tell you what I want to say.
All right, well, definitely at the bottom of the list. I don't like spiders at all.
Mm-mm.
Um, I will say the part when your butt vibrates or when that thing pokes you is kind of funny. But like the first time I was not expecting it, so I was like, I don't like this. But the spiders, I've probably only done It's Tough to Be a Bug like maybe 4 times in my life, and I've had to close my eyes every single time. I'm like,
Yeah,
no.
I blame this for part of my trauma about spiders. Like I just don't like spiders to begin with.
Mhm.
It is without a doubt F tier for me.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't like it.
It's
No.
basically what like they got rid of Stitch's Great Escape, but they haven't gotten rid of this. It's like
Yeah.
this is just as bad or worse in my opinion.
I mean, it's on its ways out, so
Yeah. I mean, isn't that like one of the biggest news right now for
Zootopia.
yeah, going to be Zootopia? But I wonder what they're going to do. Like are they going to get rid of the scary things and they're going to make it like a Muppet Vision?
I don't know. That's a good question. I kind of would like them to keep some of the like scarier things, but I feel like it's all about perspective. So, isn't it like a wasp stinging you like in It's Tough to Be a Bug? Like maybe they could do it where it's like Judy Hopps' rabbit foot is like kicking you in the back or something. I don't know. Like to me that's less scary than like oh, a hornet sting. Like
Yeah.
I
But
don't
it's
know.
also yeah, it'd also be awkward because it's like you can't do bug perspective, but so many of the things
Yeah.
are bug related. Like there's also those aren't there's like plastic whips that hit you in the back and the leg?
Oh yeah.
Like that's scary. Who came up with that?
Disney, I do have a request if you're watching. Instead of the spiders floating down from the ceiling, can you please do the little rats that were in the movie? Like the little rodents in
Oh,
Zootopia? That'd be so cute.
what species are they? Because they're like there's
They
a
kind of
mob
look like,
boss.
yeah, they kind of look shrew-like. I love that they live in like little rodentia. That's so cute.
Yeah. Okay, so they are called mice. What species are they?
It might be like elephant snout mice. Because they have like a very unique snout.
They're Arctic shrew.
Yes, I knew it.
No, you didn't.
I said they were a shrew of some type.
Oh, you did? Oh, okay, never mind.
Yeah.
You did know it. Way to go.
I didn't know the specific type though.
Uh, next is the show. First show of it. Festival of Lion King.
S
It's
tier.
oh, eh. See, here's my thing. I think it's a
Hmm.
great performance. I hate the seating.
Oh, yeah. Wait.
Like that's my thing. It's like you're either gonna have a great seat or
Hmm.
shit.
Hmm.
That's the only awkward thing.
Like, I wish I had like back support.
Yes. Why do so many places at Disney not have back support? Like I'm dying here. That's why I like Muppet Vision so much. Cause
Yeah.
I can just do that.
It's like, hey.
I think as a show it's S, but as a
Yeah.
whole, it's an A.
You know what? I have to agree too, because I say that first, I've only seen the show once. I was blown away. I loved it. But now that I'm thinking more about the seating, and
Mm-hmm.
also I don't like how they keep you like corralled outside. Obviously, I know
Mm-hmm.
that's like the only way they can kind of like do the queue because there's no indoor queue
Mm-hmm.
because the show's like actively running. But
Mm-hmm.
it's like you're standing out there for like people line up like an hour before sometimes when the
Yeah.
next show starts. And it's like
It's a bit
that's not
much. Yeah.
yeah, it's not the best.
No,
It's not
good
the
point. Good
best.
point. Yeah, I think A's respectful.
Yeah.
Cause yeah, knock a little off because seats, knock a little off. I guess
Mhm.
it's just fans. They gotta improve like the AC systems they got.
Yeah.
That's the
That
biggest
makes
thing.
sense.
And then next is Kilimanjaro Safari, which I'll say is amazing, but it kind of
Yeah.
sucks when you go on it a couple times and you're like they're fucking lying to us.
I have a confession.
What?
You know that part when they're like, "Oh, like the elephants, like the termite mounds or something like where the giraffes are," and then when you're heading over the elephants, it's like, "Oh, like the red mud." That's a lie.
Oh yeah.
Those are fake. Those are like planted. It took me so long to realize those were fake.
Well, the red mud I could tell quickly because it's like there's no moisture to it. It looked
Yeah.
like formed. The ant hill or what is it, termite hill?
Yeah, the termite mounds.
That surprised me. I thought that was legit.
Hmm.
The ostrich egg isn't real
Hmm.
because every
The
time I go on it, they say there's an ostrich egg, and
Ooh.
they say something. It's like no.
Yeah,
And then apparently the upside down tree.
the baobab tree. Yeah, it's
That's not
fake. It's fake.
that I can also understand because it's like okay, yes, we're in Africa theoretically. We can't
Right.
actually bring that shit here because that is like what is that called? Like it's an invasive species when you bring something outside of the typical
Yeah.
realm.
Yeah.
So that makes sense.
Hmm.
I do like though that every time you go on it, like it is
Different.
animals. That yes,
Hmm.
it's always different. And then there's even things like was it a baby elephant in Animal Kingdom that was recently born?
Yes.
So
Yes.
that's something new. It's you get to
Hmm.
see an animal, you get to see new life.
Yeah.
And then it's like I've seen some videos where people actually got to see a lion go on the rock and do its roar. So that's
Hmm.
also pretty sick.
Yeah.
Where are you thinking it should go?
For me, it has a special place in my heart. So I'm gonna say S tier.
Mm,
But I kind of wish Disney would bring back the poaching aspect of it. Because back in the day when Animal Kingdom first opened, when they had the safari, they had like a whole poaching storyline about like a little elephant named like I think it was like Lil Red or something like that.
mm,
And I wish they would bring that message back. Like now, I think it's good that they're focusing on conservation,
mm,
which is an important message. But I kind of wish they'd bring like the poaching thing back because it's like that's kind of like a heavy topic,
yeah.
and it's like that that's super important.
I've heard the reason they didn't do that anymore is
Scary.
well, it was mainly because they didn't want it to be another Jungle Cruise where it's this fake story that you're being a part of.
Oh, that makes
and
sense.
and they were also kind of making it like an action thing because it's like we have to go across this bridge before they catch up to us and
Oh,
whatever.
yeah.
So they wanted to make it more about like
Educational.
educational. But as like like we said, it's like always new stuff. I also think like S tier. I think that's
Yeah.
appropriate for where we should both put it.
Mhm.
It's also like when I go to DAC, as a guest, I always say to myself, I need to go on Kilimanjaro and I need to go on Expedition Everest. Those are like my two musts.
Yeah. And I feel like that's like the core of Animal Kingdom, seeing the animals.
Yeah, exactly. Actually, seeing the animals. The next is Gorilla Falls, one of two walking trails. I don't know what it
Oh
is.
yeah.
I feel like they're completely different, but I think
Mhm.
Gorilla Falls is a lot more fun than Maharaj Jungle Trek.
I agree. I have to say, I love the Gorilla Falls. I love the shirt.
The shirt.
The shirt. I love Gorilla Falls because it's one of the only places you can see a naked mole rat at anywhere, really.
The rat obsession. Oh my.
I love it.
Um, isn't there like, I feel like there's a bat section though. I always avoid that.
That's on Jungle Trek.
It is on Jungle Trek?
Yeah.
What else is on Gorilla Falls besides
Uh,
gorillas?
the birds. I think you can see some of the zebras, the hippo. See a
Yeah.
hippo?
Yeah.
Um, I think I already said the birds, but they have like the smaller birds. Jungle Trek has the bigger birds.
Okay.
Yeah.
I would say overall, Gorilla Falls is great.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, I would say it's great. I feel like it's missing like some things in terms of like seating and making it like more comfortable.
Yeah.
Because sometimes like I want to sit and watch the animals, but it's not always like very accessible to do so.
Yeah.
And I kind of wish the gorilla enclosure that you can view them was larger.
You don't think
Like
it's
when
big
they're
enough?
No, I think it's big like for the animals, but for like the human viewing, I think it's very small.
Mm-hmm.
Like the glass enclosure part,
Yeah.
because there's always gorillas right next to it, and it's like
Mm-hmm.
hard to get a good view.
Yeah. They could, if they wanted to, they could add a second section, like a second
Yeah,
story with angled glass down so that
you see the
more
top.
people could be near the glass and you could see like deeper in because the other one
Hmm.
is a lower angle looking up, so they could just do another one doing that.
Oh, that'd be cool.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Yeah.
engineer.
I'll engineer it.
Yeah.
Next is something that I'll be honest, I don't think I ever went to until my first program,
Hmm.
Rafiki's Planet Watch. Meh.
It's it's mid to me. Like I do think it's interesting that they have like an array of animals like that you wouldn't typically like see in the main part of Animal Kingdom. I've never been able to see a veterinarian thing happen in there. I like the concept, but I just don't know when those occur.
Yeah.
The drawing thing is fun. I will say that is a great time.
Mm-hmm.
But there's not much to do there. It's kind of like, okay, I can spend 30 minutes here and then go.
Yeah.
It's not fun.
I wish they also just made it more educational because I feel like there's all these labs and stuff, but it's like what can I do with this?
Yeah.
So, might or not a fan.
This is hard for me. Because I like the train ride aspect. That's fun. But I'm not a fan. Like, it's not like something I'd be like, oh, come on, guys, let's go to Rafiki's Planet Watch today. Like,
I
it's
know
very
there's
rare.
I know there's some people that go there because they really want to like do paint or art or whatever.
Yeah. Or touch the goats.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Where do you put it? Because I'm torn between the two.
I probably have to say not a fan.
Okay, I'll agree with that.
Yeah.
I just feel like again, there's more they could do. I know
Mhm.
there's a lot of talk about like what if they overhauled it to be kind of Wakanda themed, so it's a mixture of teaching about science with nature
Yeah.
and then also maybe African related culture.
Hmm.
Something like that would be fun.
That'd be really cool.
I paused for a second because I wanted to turn on echo cancellation, but we're back. Next on the list is I chose these photos. I should know what this is. Oh, Feathered Flight of Friends. I think that's the name of it. The like bird show. I liked it as a kid. And I feel like nowadays it's kind of like if I sit there, I'm sitting there for a long time. And again, there's
Yeah.
no cooling. It's hot.
Yeah.
And you? What do you think?
I've never done it.
What?
I've never done it. I've like walked past it and I know there's birds that fly, but I've never done it.
Do you have a fear of birds?
No, I like birds. They're
So
annoying.
why
Like
wouldn't you want why
they
wouldn't you want to
talk.
see feathered flights of friends?
It's just like something I skip. I just like never think about doing it. Or like when I go past it, it's either like already happening or it's not happening. And like the showtime
Yeah.
I don't want to wait around for.
Yeah, that's the only awkward thing. It's hard to find when to do it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, see, it's a might or not a fan. I might.
For me personally, I mean, I've never done it, so my opinion doesn't go as far, but I like the concept of it.
Hmm.
It's like, oh, you get to see some birds. Isn't that cool?
Well, they also like they teach you a bit about it, but
Yeah.
it's just you might do it. That's the only thing.
Yeah, I might do it.
Hmm. And then next is I'm sorry, I'll avoid writing this. I feel like this is controversial, but Cali River Rapids because I'm not in the mood to get soaking wet.
That's valid.
Well, and
Especially,
yourself?
I liked it a lot as a kid.
Hmm.
I wrote it recently within like the past year and a half as an adult, and it's like okay, like I just remember it being more well themed or maybe like more effects happening. To me, it's like a not ride. Like unless it's a really hot day and there's no wait, or maybe I have like a if I have lightning lane or whatever, I have a lightning lane for it.
Hmm.
Sure. But I don't think it's something I would ride. I love water rides in Florida because it gets super hot, but I feel like Animal Kingdom is the last place that you want to be walking around with like wet jeans or like wet cargo shorts like for the rest of the day and like you're gonna
Literally.
chafe and like
Hmm.
I don't know. I would love them to overhaul it and maybe do like I don't know, maybe like a Jungle Book like log ride or something. Like I think that would
Ooh.
be interesting and maybe have some like animatronic animals or maybe like real animals that wouldn't be so like stressed out with the whole thing. But the
Yeah.
current concept is just, I think maybe they
Meh.
should redo that next.
No, you're right. You got a good point. So, are you avoiding that, or do you just you're just not a fan of the idea?
I gotta say, I probably avoid it. Like I've avoided it more times than I've done it.
Yeah, there's been more times that I've said I don't want to go on this than I've said, oh, let's make sure to go on this.
Hmm.
Like, nah. I guess that's just like also like some people pack for that.
Yeah,
They pack to have like a wet set of clothes, and I just don't want to lug that around.
I don't want to change.
Yeah, if I want to get if I want to cool down, I'll just have a drink and go inside.
Hmm.
I feel like that's the smarter option.
Yeah,
And then, as we mentioned before, Mahara. I feel like I'm mispronouncing it. Maharaja Jungle Trek.
it's okay. I would tell people I was just like, oh, just go to this jungle trek here.
Hmm.
I wouldn't even
The
try.
Asia Jungle Trek.
Yeah, just go there.
Hmm. It's not as good as Gorilla Falls, I'll say that,
No.
but it is good. There's a lot of variety.
For me personally, I just never see animals when I go. Like I see the bats
Oh yeah,
and I see like the giant bird part at the end, but I never see the tigers ever.
they're always inside by coincidence.
Yeah, so for me, I have to say I'm not a fan.
You're not a fan. Oh
Mm-mm.
wow, I might ride it if I want the steps.
Yeah.
But you're right. I don't see things often, so I'll knock it down a peg.
Hmm. I will say, and this might like make me consider might ride, it is very quiet because I feel like most people it's like off the beaten path. Like most people it's like, oh, okay, like here's a gift shop to the left, and then to
Hmm.
your right you have Cali River Rapids, and then if you
Hmm.
just keep walking, like here's the Jungle Trek. But it's like kind of hidden, and I feel like it's so quiet. There's not a lot of foot traffic
Yeah,
like Gorilla Falls gets
yeah. Because
sometimes.
Kilimanjaro spills out into Gorilla Falls,
Yeah.
but then Mahara, I feel like you have to find it. You have to
Mhm.
look for it actively.
Mhm.
Kind of awkward.
Yeah.
And then another flawless in my opinion, Expedition Everest. I
It's pretty
like
good.
how rough it is, and I love the story of it.
I like it.
Yeah.
Rest in peace, Yeti. Yeah.
Do you know why they had to like stop his movement?
Yeah, wasn't he like messing with like the I guess like whenever he moved, the base would cause like some stress on like the building.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. It literally was shaking the building out of place. That's how
That's
bad it
crazy.
was.
That's
Yeah.
crazy.
What a big back motherfucker. Well, am I wrong? He's
No.
shaking the building.
He's eating us.
He's eating all right.
Yeah, he's eating like one out of every 10 trains. Didn't you know that?
My thing though is I love. Do you remember Stacy?
Kinda.
Do you like the Must Do
Like,
Disneys?
yeah, I don't remember watching that as a kid, but I've know we've discussed it and you've sent me her. Like I know who she is, but I don't
My ch-
like she's
my
not like a
childhood crush. I miss her.
she's not like a pivotal moment in my childhood.
She was to me. She meant something to me. Anyways, one of the like must do's is Expedition Everest, and she does
Yeah.
this thing where when they're going up the track and it's all bent out of place,
Mhm.
she like picks her teeth and then looks at the camera and goes, "There doesn't seem to be any track." I don't know why that's so entertaining to me.
I love it. I've always wanted to like put my hair tie up at the top, but I don't want to
Oh,
litter.
but my question is, why
Like,
don't they like once a month or once a week clean that out? Because so many people do it.
I
It's kind
don't
of
know.
it's kind of gross at this point, like the number
Yeah.
you see.
Yeah.
But I
Have you,
think I think it's flawless. I think the
yeah.
ride's flawless.
I like it.
I think the queue's flawless. I like that there's a single rider option. That's great.
I like going on it when the lights are on.
When can you do that? Oh, like
Uh,
at night?
well, like the actual show building, like the lights are on. I've done that once.
But like when does that happen?
It happens like sometimes, like if the ride might have been shut down like earlier. But I know when it was like National Roller Coaster Day, they let cast members go on and they had all the lights turned on. Yeah, see inside.
That's
It's
awesome.
cool.
That's really fun. And then leaving Asia and then head I don't even know what the Big Blue Beyond section is. I feel like they could also make an aquarium.
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 That'd be
They
really cool.
didn't.
No.
Great Big Blue and Beyond. I see I want to say it's better than Lion King show simply because it's indoors.
Yeah. The seating is no support.
Is it also no support in Nemo?
Yeah, it's benches.
I swear no.
Mm-mm.
I thought it was proper seats.
I went for the first time ever, and it was
Hmm.
like benches, but I did love that it was indoors. It was so nice.
Yeah, the indoor part is good. Shit, it is just benches. Oh no, there's a tiny bit of back support.
What?
Yeah, I'm telling you.
I don't
I'm showing
remember
you.
that. Where
That's
is
a
it?
seat and that's a support.
Oh, wait.
Well, there's support. It's not as good. It's just a solid
It's
piece of
better.
wood. Yeah, it's better than nothing. That's
Okay,
the thing.
I think I was thinking about Lion King. I have to say,
Mhm.
that show has some bangers.
Oh, they're really entertaining.
Where's my dad?
I don't know who made that a meme, but I'm so happy because it was one of the funniest jokes I saw in the last couple of
It
years.
was good.
Um, the only thing I think I can say for this is I wish it was longer. I think the Lion King show is the right amount of time. I
Hmm.
think Great Big Blue Beyond should be longer for the story they're telling.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I want to say, because I saw this one more recent than I did Festival of the Lion King. I think I like this more than Festival of the Lion King.
But would you say it's flawless?
I wouldn't say it's flawless.
Mhm.
but I would say it's probably like an A. So maybe I put it at the same rank, I
Yeah.
guess.
But it's like different reasoning. It's like one
Yeah.
has better seats, one has better
AC.
AC. You keep going back and forth between those things.
Yeah. I have a
Uh,
question.
yeah.
Did you put kite tails on this?
Fuck, I didn't. I did forget something.
Rest in peace.
I didn't listen. I didn't really give a shit about kite tails, and here's the reason I didn't give a shit about kite tails. When I worked at Flame Tree Barbecue, they told me because I had coordinators who worked there for a long time. They
Yeah.
said kite tails used to be a story that they would tell, but now it's just this random thing they do every 10 minutes.
Oh, I never knew
Yeah,
that.
yeah. So I was like, I could listen and watch something entertaining when I'm working outside at
Yeah.
Flame Tree, but instead I hear the ridiculously annoying music,
Oh, that's fair.
so cheesy, and just shit flying through the air. And I don't see how that's beneficial.
I liked it because it was funny when they like ate shit. Like they go like, whoosh. It's like,
Oh
oh
yeah, they
no,
looked
oh
really
no.
awkward. Yeah.
It's like, oh,
If it was on the tier list,
yeah.
I would say it's a might for me.
I'd say it's flawless. I'm just playing. It'd probably be a might too. It'd probably be a might. Like I wouldn't stop to watch it because again, there's no like outdoor or it's just outdoor. There's no like AC or anything
Yeah.
outdoors. But like if I were walking like into the bridge like from DinoLand to like Discovery Island, I'd like stop and like
Hmm.
watch it for like a minute and then I'd keep walking.
Well, my thought is, you know how Epcot they finally got rid of it? That's stupid. I'm sorry, it was really stupid. Those giant, ugly machines that
Oh,
would
those
do
are
water.
gone?
Yeah, they got rid of it. The
Oh,
show's
thank
gone.
God. Thank
It
God.
used to be like water projections, but with these
Yeah.
mega machines. I feel like the seating at DAC is designed for that because you know how like
Mhm.
all around Asia going into Dinosaur, there's like very much slanted stone seating that
Yeah.
all looks at the water. That used to be for when Kite Tales was a full blown story.
And Rivers of Light.
Hmm. So they have to bring back Rivers of Light, and then I don't know. I feel like they could do like a performance during the daytime. So
Yeah.
like one example I have is when we went to Wonderland. Okay, so also for those who know Canada's Wonderland, near the castle section, there's a body of water with a really tall structure. I think I told you about this, Lynn, when we went.
Did.
In the on season, like the summer, spring, they'd have performers doing like cartwheels and they dive into the water and like all this stuff. I feel like Disney could do one step above that because they're Disney and have a daytime performance for people to watch and see acrobatics and stuff like that and then
Mhm.
water stunts. But it's kind of just nothing right now. Like
Yeah.
that space of water is unused.
Mhm.
But I'm sorry I didn't add kite tails.
It's okay.
Going on to a extinct section of the park. We're going to talk about dinosaur. And I'm sorry, we just got to speed run these three because they're all in the same section. They're all just in that corny, cheesy, used to be carnival section. I know
Yeah.
I'm gonna get a hate on this when I say I didn't like the carnival aspect. I feel like what Disney could have done is made it, and I'm gonna sound even crazier. I actually talked to the VP of DAC about my idea because I had such a like full blown story and such a clear vision of what the area could be that I had to voice it. And basically, my idea was the Dinosaur Institute use the time travel technology to make a bubble of space instead of time traveling the vehicles. And it could have been that all the flora was prehistoric. They could have used the entire Dinorama section, including Primeval World, to be a water ride, kind of like Jungle Cruise, but more advanced.
Mhm.
And then they could have made Dinosaur a trip of you going out into the further fields of the dinosaur land and then it could have been like you're getting chased by dinosaurs and all this stuff, and you have to get back to the security gate before it locks you out, like that kind of stuff.
That'd be fun.
Because then it would also be a way to do like very like prehistoric looking foliage
Hmm.
and get rid of the cheesy like hillbilly gas station American food stuff. Like I
Yeah.
cannot express how much that's not a good idea.
I mean, I'm a sucker for theming, and I genuinely did not mind it. But, like, to me, I never really had a deep connection to Animal Kingdom until I started working there. Because as
Hmm.
a kid, I've only went to Animal Kingdom once in my life
Yeah,
before, like, I was, like, an adult. Because, like, my parents were like, "Oh, we'll just skip it." There was, like, nothing to do.
yeah.
They're like, "We'll just skip it."
That's what most families do, and I'm not
Y
surprised by that.
Yeah, so it's like, to me, like, when I heard about the lore of, like, Dinosaur Land or DinoLand, I was like, okay, I am like interested. I like it. And like I know previously I mentioned like I did a backstage tour. I got to learn the lore. Um, so I really enjoy it, but it's I think it fit more like the late 90s, early 2000s, and I feel like it definitely has to change. Like
Yeah,
I'm a sucker for nostalgia, but it's just kind of outdated and I really hope Disney does something good
yeah.
with
Well,
the new
yeah,
stuff.
all the revamping should do well, and I hope that they can expand Pandora more. I don't know how they can because I've been backstage and I know how limited the space is, but
Yeah.
I hope there is a way to squeeze something around the corner or
Mhm.
whatever the hell. For the three Dinorama stuff, I'm sorry, but the actual carnival games, I'm not paying more money at the park that I've already paid money to be at.
Yeah.
That's kind of stupid. And Triceratops Spins is just a worse version of Dumbo.
I have to say, to me, that's probably a good ride. I'm a sucker for those types of rides, and
Ugh.
I just really like the Triceratops spin one. Like and they play Smash Mouth like in the
Do they?
section. Yeah, they play um All Star, I think. Like that
Oh,
was
that's
one of
funny.
the theme music. So like sometimes it's like if you timed it right, be up there.
I'll I'm gonna knock it down one peg because
Okay.
I'm not a fan and you're
Yeah.
good, so let's meet in the
Well,
middle.
all right.
Because also Smash Mouth. Now, a funny thing is Primeval Whirl. My dad, growing up, he called it Primeval Hurl because he got motion sick really badly on it, and he'd
Oof.
hate the fact that I wanted to ride it.
Yeah.
I think it's a good ride.
I only ridden it once,
Hmm.
before it got taken away, and I went on it like I met the height stick, and the cast member, like, just let me on, and I
Hmm.
wanted to ride it again. I was like, "Dad, I wanna ride it again." So we get in line, and then I got stopped at the height stick because I did not
Damn.
meet the height requirement. It was the same exact cast member, and
So he's just stupid.
my dad was like, "She just went on. You literally just went her on." Like, yeah,
Idiot.
I know.
Where do you put this on the
I mean,
list?
I remember liking it, but it's gone now, so
Yeah.
avoid riding.
Avoid riding. Yeah, I think nowadays I'd get too sick on it. I'll agree with you.
Yeah,
And then last two for dinosaur is actually dinosaur and then the
yeah.
boneyard.
Ooh,
Now, I'll just say boneyard. I don't even know going, so I'm just not a fan of it because if I didn't like it, if
I
I
didn't
didn't
get to
go.
do it.
But dinosaur,
S tier. S tier for me.
you know what? Yeah. Like I don't like that area. I like
Mhm.
dinosaur though. I thought it was a lot of fun.
Yeah. Every
Hmm.
single time I smell like a fog machine or like a smoke machine, first thought, "Oh my god, it smells like dinosaur in here."
Yeah. No, yeah, I get that. And then isn't there kind of like that like tire smell?
Mhm.
It kind of
'Cause
also makes you think of dinosaur.
yeah, it actually ran on oil, which was really interesting about it. When I did my tour, they told me wear shoes you don't care about because you will get oil or like
Wow.
tar because it was actually sticky. So
Wow.
it's really cool.
I swear my friend used to work at Dinosaur and he
Mhm,
loved it. And I agree, it's a great ride.
mhm.
And when it closed, I swear he told me he like knew a friend of a friend who knew a cast member who took one of the teeth. Oh no, fuck. Sorry, erase everything I just said. He was doing a walk
Yeah.
of the area
Hmm.
at the end of the night, closing to make sure like nothing was left behind. Anything that needs to go to lost and found is taken, like that kind of stuff. And I think he said a tooth fell out of one of the dinosaur animatronics and was on the ground.
Yeah.
And I think he said that he did like reported like, hey, this is loose and like is just a something
Yeah.
that could be ran over by accident. Um, and then when he went home, he was like, "Fuck, I should have just put it in my pocket. That would have been sick." Because that would be a cool thing to keep.
Hmm.
Like I feel like same thing for like if pirates you found like a sword that fell out of a basket, you could take it.
Hmm.
Um,
Hey.
for what is it? Big Thunder Mountain. If there's like I don't know a stick of
Oh,
dynamite that's just like loose, it's just like a dinosaur tooth would be sick if you worked a dinosaur.
that'd be really cool.
Yeah, but I think yeah, I gotta agree with you. It's S tier dinosaur, and then I'm just not a fan of the boneyard.
There will never be another like you, dinosaur.
Rest in peace. I mean, it is a different version of
Indiana Jones.
yes, but it's a different track. People claim that it's the exact same track. I'm sorry, they're fucking stupid.
Hmm.
It is like if you just think about riding the ride, at no point do you do the same thing as you do on Indiana Jones.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And then last two going back to Pandora, Navi River Journey, and then Flight of Passage. So Navi River Journey, I think is great because you get indoor and
Mhm.
cooling. I think it's like kind of like a Pirates Caribbean, and I get sleepy riding that ride.
Me too. I want to take a nap. Um, I'd probably have to say it's a great ride. The only thing I don't like about it is like, I expected a drop or something the first time I went on it. I was
Mm-hmm.
really expecting that. Um, and something else too, it's like, imagine like waiting all day in line to ride that ride,
Mm-hmm.
and you get on it, and the animatronic is in B show mode. I'd be pissed.
What's the difference? Can you reenact A mode then B mode?
Yeah, so A mode is like when they have the actual animatronics like oh yeah, oh yeah. And then like B showed is they actually have like a screen that comes down or maybe it's like a screen they like pull out backstage, but it's just like a video of
Oh,
like the animated like oh yeah, oh wait, like that is so lame. Give me the animatronic and like I have to say that animatronic is like oh my god, it's, like, gorgeous, like, it moves so fluidly, and I
hmm.
genuinely think that is one of the best animatronics on Disney property.
No, yeah, I agree. It's impressive how
Yeah.
well it's made.
Mhm.
I yeah, I would say too, great. I think it's good that it's focused on like Serenity. I do wish, like you said, there was a drop. Like even like you know how Pirates has the small drop and then the bigger drop.
Yep.
If they just had the small drop as a way to like excite you, that
Yeah.
could be fun. And then it could be like you're journeying through the nighttime of Pandora,
Mhm.
and like your Navi guide is keeping an eye on you to make sure that predators don't come near your boat,
Mhm.
like
'Cause there's
something
that
like that.
yeah, 'cause there is that one scene where the screen shows, like, the jaguar type looking things, and they kinda look
Mm-hmm.
at you menacingly, like, that
Mm-hmm.
could be a part where it's like, "Oh, no, they're following you, like, quick,
Mm-hmm.
this way."
Yeah, exactly. But
It was a missed
they
opportunity.
they focused entirely on serenity
Yeah.
and calmness. And then finally, to end all of it, is Flight of Passage. Uh, Am I a sucker if I say flawless?
Whoa, that is way different from what I was gonna say.
Why? What would you say?
I was gonna say good.
That low?
I mean, okay, maybe great, but to me, like, it isn't flawless, and maybe this is just me, but like, first time I did it, I would have ranked it a flawless. The more times that I've done it, I notice I'm like, oh wow, like the screen, like it's not as like sore and bad where it's kind of like bent, but it's like depending on where you sit, I think that makes or breaks the ride. Because if you're like sitting too far off to the side and then like you're looking around, it's like, oh, it breaks the immersion. It's like, oh, there's the black
Mm,
side of the building there. Like,
Yeah.
I feel like you have to be dead center in the middle, in, like, I think
Mm,
the middle row to make it,
yeah.
like, worthwhile.
Yeah, good point. I also don't like how they watered down the scientist. I don't know if you know this, but the scientist at the beginning,
Mhm.
they had initial test runs of his scene and they made him a scientist who like was very well equipped and could talk about all of it.
Yeah.
But then I think what is it when they like show it to an audience, like test running it?
Yeah.
They basically like it didn't get as good attention, so they made him like nerdy and awkward and unsure and like a little bit stupid, I'll say.
Yeah.
I'm like, why would you make someone who's supposed to be a genius not a genius? So that I
Yeah,
think
he's
is
really
one of the gripes
awkward.
I have. Yeah. That's kind of like if you made um what is it, Patrick Warburton? Is that his name?
Mhm.
If you made his character like completely oblivious to what flight is like for Soren.
Yeah.
Is it Patrick Warburton? I gotta make sure.
Yes.
Why
I'm a
you know that as a fact?
I'm a big fan of his work on Family Guy.
A beta.
Hey, Peter.
Okay, you initially said good, and I initially said flawless. But yes, there are flaws to it.
Yeah,
So can we meet in the middle and say it's
it's
a great
great.
ride?
I agree.
Alrighty. So I think with that, that completes our tier list.
Heck yeah.
And if you disagree, sorry, but there will be a link to all of these charts that we've made in our YouTube or our Instagram bio, so you can feel free to make them yourself and talk with your friends, see what you all think about.
Tag us. I want to see.
I'd love to see. But
Yeah,
with that, that completes all of our Walt Disney World Park tier lists. And then next, we're going to move on to Disneyland and California
excited.
Adventure. And then, because we still want to talk about Disney, we're going to do food and all this other stuff, yada, yada, yada. We gotta.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But thank you all for watching. Hope you have a great rest of your week. We'll miss you up until
Mhm.
next week.
Yep.
I know it's hard going 6 days without new content.
Don't cry,
Un-
guys.
don't cry. We'll be back. Until we're back though,
Stay wild.